Hello, this is a board deck and dice. Notice we're not employing the resident Geordie to say that ever again after the disappointing last time. I'm assuming I have regular viewers. So this is a first play of Petrichor, which means, just off the top of my head, it means the pleasant earthly smell after rain. Which is much like the smell from the earth after it's rained. Petrichor is a bit weird. Essentially, we're trying to drop our rain from these clouds onto the crops below for area majority. There's certain ways you can kind of affect that, and then the way you do that is through card play. You play a card, take an action, and then you can either vote for this whether that you want to take place at the end of the round or roll down a dice. These are my drops. Chris's are organised very neatly, holding his player aid there.
Why not?
With an unnecessary jaunty angle. That's hipster gaming. And these are our vote tokens. But you can also perform a second action if you sacrifice at least 2 of your cards. They have to be 2 of the same to do that action, or up to 4 different ones to do whatever you want, basically. Because when the first player passes, that all stops, and that's the bit that I think is going to become clear as we go. Basically, we play 6 rounds. If these dice ever hit this symbol on all 3, we'll have a scoring round, and then they get rolled again. I'm not sure how it's going to go. It feels a bit abstracted. This looks nice, but the kind of voting on the weather and stuff feels a bit abstracted. I'm going to go to Chris's puzzle face first. You're a bit confused so far.
In general, that's just
the
way it is.
You need Mark here to make you look better. We've got a Paul.
I'm confused as well.
Simon.
I'm not confused. I'm not confused at all. I'm first player, got a cloud, and I have just noticed.
Stand up and hold that behind your bum.
I've just noticed that there are 50 and 100 point markers.
Yeah, I didn't think it was necessary to talk about them.
After we've done the scoring, I'm not 100% sure we're going to get there.
Yeah. Well, you can score drip feed a lot of single points if you roll these down and stuff like that. Instead of voting, you can turn the dice down, so a scoring phase comes across sooner. But unless you've got any drops on the fields, it's and some of them score differently. This is the one that's the most confusing in ours because it can sprout or it can be fully developed. So cards look like this. Basically, they tell you which one you're going to vote on, one of 2. And then that you're going to roll a harvest, or you can roll a harvest dice. But the icons, confusingly, do different things at different stages of the game, depending on if they're played as a card or they get the majority in. So I think we might come back midway through this one, so we can see Chris's dawn of realisation. It's one of the Planet of the Apes, isn't it?
That is.
The Planet of the Apes, dawn of realisation. We're apes. Oh. At the end.
It'll click.
So yeah,
Round
cool.
2.
Let's get going. Okay, Petrichor has finished with a disappointing Geordie win. He's got his 50 points by the stroke of his whiskers. Well, actually, his whiskers are very big. So we've just kind of, while we scored, took the... he's taken a selfie with his 50. He's taken a selfie with his 50. We've taken the thing apart, but in essence, what you needed to do was, he's packed it all away. He's super efficient. Get your drops into these clouds, manipulate the clouds to where you want them to be, which can only really be done by wind, and then rain onto the tiles, which gives you various scoring options, like this corn one. Player who's got the most when a scoring occurs gets 2 plus a corn, which can be worth more at the end. If you've got the most corn, everyone else gets 3. Or this one, which is more standard. The person with the most gets 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's actually a fairly close game in the end. What did you get? I got 49. You got 47, did you?
I think it was like
43.
Yeah, about that.
What do you think once you got it?
Yeah. After the sort of first round, you learn how the game sort of works easily enough, and then after about 2 rounds, you start thinking more about the tactical behind it all, and trying to stop you from being a complete.
Well,
which Paul actually did stop you.
Yeah, you probably cost me the game there.
Yeah,
What did you do?
You did. Well done, Paul.
At least I did something.
Yeah, you would have cost me the game there.
Yeah.
And the 50-point token.
No, it was
He's not been invited again. I really the instructions were a real challenge. Not because they've got everything in, but it's all in a funny order and all over the place. It's quite hard to find things. But these dice are actually really clever because you can kind of manipulate when a scoring is going to occur, but it's going to cost you points to do so potentially, and influence on the board, which is why I think you get a point bonus for rolling the dice down. Because if you roll these down past 1, they roll onto the harvest symbol. You can't roll them any further down. 3 harvest symbols means there's going to be a scoring, and we could have had a scoring pretty much from any round from 3.
But we only had 2 scorings, didn't we?
Yeah, we only had 2 in the end. So I think we were right to play 6. I think 4 we'd all still been a bit confused. I think a lot of us got our points in the latter stages. You've still got your 50 there. What do you think, Simon? He's going to go in his serious voice. I've noticed this, right?
It's the greatest game ever.
If you watch his channel videos, he's all like jolly and that, and then you ask him to comment on a board game, he goes dead serious.
It's the greatest game ever.
Unless he wins.
No, on his videos, it's because he's had a few. That's why.
It's the greatest game ever. Yeah, I liked it. I liked round 5. I passed on my first turn, which basically drew everyone to a halt. They had to discard down to 4.
He had a good hand then.
Yeah.
So,
that worked out for me actually.
It worked out really well for me, and I got my 50-point token, and this is the greatest day of my life.
Yeah, thanks.
For my 14-week-old daughter.
Who are you going to put in a rat cage? You said.
Put in a rat cage, is pales in significance.
Okay. Great. Paul, did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Just took me a little while to get into it.
Yeah.
And I missed out on this bonus track, which
this
I
is
suffered quite a bit, and that was
because everyone else got you lost
9 points on that.
Did you get to 6?
I was
Yeah,
on
you
6,
lost
so
that
it was
9.
15,
Yeah. So
That was probably a lot nearer.
So you're playing another area majority on this track, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which can be quite good. And actually, I thought we had a surprising amount of ties there. I thought there'd be more disparity between the pieces on there, but.
And I like how you can put bits out there for future rounds as well to sort of, like there was a round where I nearly just had twice, but I think I just missed out on that slightly. Yeah, you kind of just slightly overwent in that one rather than, If you'd gone up twice, that would have been killer. Yeah, definitely worth reading, worth play. I would say the rulebook is good in terms of it's complete, but there is it's in a bad order, and I would definitely teach it differently. Yeah, play a round, go through a round.
Yeah, I think because the thing of double cards is weird to get hold of as well. I think like you can play a second lot of cards, but there's certain rules. So yeah, that is Petrichor. Thanks very much for watching. More deck and dice.